Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Super Sports Central. Today, we're going to be going over my final mock drafts. This is the last one before the draft happens tomorrow night. And just so you guys know, I will be doing a live watch party, or a live stream where you guys will get to see my live reactions and analysis of all the picks for the first round of tomorrow's draft. And more on that later in this video, so make sure to stick around for that. So, at the draft board, we have the Jaguars picking number 1. So, and today, the Jaguars came down to 2 players, Aiden Hutchinson or Trayvon Walker, and it seems like they're truly split on those 2 players. I mean, they've had 6 months to decide a pick, and they still don't know. So, I think the Jaguars are going to go in the direction of Trayvon Walker. I haven't had him number 1 overall yet, and I'm not trying to change this up. I think this is how the first round of the draft will look tomorrow. So these are my final predictions of how it's going to look and how I think it will look. So I think Jaguars are going to choose to go with Trayvon Walker, who's an elite run defender, and he can also develop into a great pass rusher. And you're going to need a great run defender when you play in the division with Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor, 2 of the best running backs in the league. Number 2, we have the Lions. So they could go quarterback and Malik Willis here, but with Aiden Hutchinson on the board, I think it's not really a debate. They're going to keep Hutchinson in the state of Michigan, taking him at number 2. Number 3 overall is the Houston Texans. So here at number 3, I think they're going to go offensive line with both the top players off the board. The question is Evan Neal or Akeem Ekwonu. I have the Texans going Evan Neal, but I definitely think they could go either way. Jets at number 4. So, corner is a big need for the Jets, and Sauce Gardner's been flying up mock drafts, and I think the Jets are going to pick him inside the top 5 at number 4. The Giants at number 5. So, with Akeem Ekwonu on the board, the Giants must pick him to help the offensive line. 6, we have the Panthers, another team that can go quarterback. They could go Kenny Pickett here. A lot of people have them taking Charles Cross, and I think they're also going to go take Charles Cross. Teams less likely they're going to take a quarterback. Now, if you asked me to do a mock draft like a month or 2 ago, I said, yes, definitely Kenny Pickett. But now I'm going Charles Cross, number 6 to the Panthers. 7, we have the Giants. So there's 2 good edge rushers on the board, and they need edge rusher. So they can go Kayvon Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson. I think they're going to go Thibodeau here at number 7. 8, we have the Falcons. Really, any position is a need here. They could go Jermaine Johnson at number 8. They could go quarterback, wide receiver, safety. I think they're going to go Jermaine Johnson at number 8. 9, we have the Seahawks. This was originally the Broncos pick, which I'm sure, as you remember, came over in the Russell Wilson trade. It's not really any tackles. I think it's a little bit early for Trevor Penning. But anyway, I think we're going to see our first quarterback go off the board, and that is Malik Willis to the Seahawks at number 9. I also think quarterbacks going to go off the board at the Lions or Panthers because teams do take quarterbacks early in the first round. But I do have the Seahawks taking my first quarterback at number 9. 10, we have the Jets on the clock again. So they already got their elite corner in Sauce Gardner, and I think they're going to go wide receiver. They have a field stretcher in Jameson Williams, a great contested catch wide receiver, and then I think the best receiver in the draft in Garrett Wilson. So why not take the best receiver in the draft and take Garrett Wilson? Garrett Wilson here at 10. 11, we have the Washington Commanders. They could go wide receiver, but they also need quarterback, but I don't think they're going to take one here at number 11. So really corner or safety or wide receiver for that fact. I'm going to go Drake London at 11 to the Commanders. 12, we have the Minnesota Vikings. So the question is Derek Stingley Jr. or Trent McDuffie. If they like McDuffie, I think they could potentially trade this pick to move down a few spots. But I think they're going to go Derek Stingley Jr. at number 12. 13, we have the Texans. With Kyle Hamilton still on the board, I think the Texans will scoop him up. He's a great defensive building piece. So Texans pick Hamilton at 13. 14 is the Ravens. I've done this in I think all of my mock drafts, but Jordan Davis at 14 to the Ravens. And elite run stopper at nose tackle. Great pick there for the Ravens. 15 is the Eagles. They need wide receiver and corner. So with Jameson Williams on the board, I think they're going to take him because when you look at who's behind them, you have the Chargers and the Saints who could potentially both take Williams if he's available. So I'm going to go Jameson Williams 15 to the Eagles. They also pick again at 18. 16, we have the Saints. I think they would take Jameson Williams if he's on the board. They have 16 and 19, so they jumped ahead of the Chargers so they could take Trevor Penning, the tackle out of Northern Iowa. And I think they're going to take him because that is the reason they got the number 16 pick, to prevent the Chargers from getting him and to get them themselves. So now that brings us to the Chargers. So they help the interior defensive line in free agency. They could also go Tyler Smith here out of Tulsa, and while he is listed as interior offensive line, he did play tackle at Tulsa, but I'm not going to go that direction. For the Chargers, I'm going to actually go linebacker Devin Lloyd at number 17. Eagles on the clock again at 18. They could go either way, either edge rusher George Karlaftis or corner Trent McDuffie. I have them taking Trent McDuffie out of Washington at number 18. Saints on the clock again at 19. So they already have a tackle in Trevor Penning who could potentially be a great replacement for Teron Armstead. I think they could go quarterback or wide receiver. I think Chris Olave makes a ton of sense here, as he's a field stretcher who has tons of speed. Olave, number 19, to the Saints. Number 20, we have, I think, the second quarterback off the board, Kenny Pickett to the Steelers. So, 1, it keeps Kenny Pickett in Pittsburgh, and 2, yes, they did sign Mitch Trubisky, but now drafting them, 1, gives them competition, and 2, say Trubisky's the day 1 starter, and he doesn't play well. He has the mental mindset knowing he needs to play well, otherwise he can get benched and replaced. Same thing goes for Kenny Pickett. So, on the clock, at number 21, we have the Patriots. They do need wide receiver, but it's not their top priority, and I think they're going to go Nakobe Dean out of Georgia to help replace Dante Hightower. Packers picking at number 22. So they need wide receiver. Treylon Burks is an option. They could go George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, lots of options at receiver. They could also go receiver at number 28, but who knows if who their guy is and if they're still going to be there at number 28. I have the Packers going wide receiver in Treylon Burks at number 22. 23 to the Cardinals. I have edge rusher George Karlaftis out of Purdue. So he's going to help the team replace Chandler Jones, who left for Las Vegas in free agency. 24, we have the Cowboys. So I think they're going to go offensive line and select one of the 2 interior offensive linemen, either Zion Johnson or Kenyon Green. So it's really just personal preference for the Cowboys. I'm going to go Zion Johnson. 25, we have the Bills. I think they're going to go corner. That is either Kyer Elam or Andrew Booth Jr. And I think they're going to go take Andrew Booth Jr. Again, another just preference for each team. 26, we have the Titans. So with Kenyon Green on the board, he's an elite run blocker. And for a run-heavy team with Derrick Henry, I think they're going to go pick Kenyon Green there at number 26. 27, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if Andrew Booth Jr. was still on the board, I think they'd take him. If Kyer Elam's still on the board, I think they'd take him. Elam is still on the board, so I have them going Kyer Elam, the corner out of Florida. Packers again at number 28. They do need to get some help on the interior defensive line to get help for Kenny Clark. They could also double up on wide receiver because there's still a few good ones here, but I have them going Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia. 29, we have the Chiefs, 30 as well. So, and my mock draft I posted Sunday, I had them doing this. I had Boye Mafe and then George Pickens, and I'm going to go do the same thing. Boye Mafe 29 or George Pickens 29, it really doesn't matter. But Mafe and Pickens, Chiefs 29-30. Bengals at number 31. They could go corner, but I also think they could go interior offensive line in Tyler Linderbaum because he's available. And because he's available, I think it's a great pick for them. They did help the offensive line in free agency, but Linderbaum is a center, and he could help. You could move somebody back out to guard and make that offensive line even better. If they don't opt to go winter bomb there, then I would expect Kyra Gordon out of Washington, who's a corner. And 32, we have the Lions. I have them going so they went Aiden Hutchinson number 2. So I think they're going to go quarterback here, and that will be Desmond Ridder out of Cincinnati. So that is my mock draft video, my final mock draft, and what I think the first round of the draft will look like. So make sure to join us for our live watch party tomorrow. It's going to probably start at about 7:50 Eastern Time, as the draft starts at 8 Eastern Time. So just to go over any final predictions, any different mock draft, something that changes. Maybe we'll do a mock draft together real quick before the draft starts. But just make sure to join us. I have a feeling that will be a lot of fun. So make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you agree, disagree, and why. I do my best to post as often as possible, and I will see you in the next video.